Hey y'all, it's a me, Mario. Sorry. No, I mean it's me, Tech Ty, and I'm here with my good friend and colleague Wesley Stevens, the founder and CEO of EnCor here in our great state of Oklahoma and specifically in our town of Tulsa. Wesley and his company EnCor are well situated in the aerospace and defense industry in our city and our state and our nation. So I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us more about EnCor and his role.
Thanks, Ty. And so it all started many years ago when I was in a 3D printing company and made essential oil diffusers, shipped them off to China. China did a great job mass manufacturing them for us, by the way, and brought them back here, right? Sold that company about a year later, jumped into AI space where I was doing things with counter drone technologies with the Department of War. And how do we kill these drones without shooting a bullet? Because they are often less expensive than that bullet. And then I moved over to make a AI platform for government contract and grant writing. And now I'm here at EnCor, actually harkening back to my roots, doing advanced manufacturing, drone work. And here at EnCor, our goal is to become the low-cost producer of drones for the free world, for single use cases and limited use cases.
Quite a multi-hyphenate.
Yeah.
It's great to have you. So thank you so much for telling us more about EnCor. Now, you mentioned the low-cost option for drone production in our city, in our state, in our nation. So what's your ultimate goal with EnCor?
Yeah, you see, right now, China controls probably 70–80% of the entire market, and they've been able to get to that economies at scale. Plus, the Chinese subsidies are making it even cheaper, so as to limit competition in the low-cost space. As a result, a lot of the U.S. companies have decided to go and compete on the specialty side of things. So they're higher cost, they have more specialized components, and they're more fitted to certain use cases. Well, as of early last year, the U.S. has put its foot down and said no more China drones, which has created a vacuum that we are coming to fill. And so the first responder departments that you see, and the military folk that you see, everyone needs to train on a drone. But the only U.S. drone they have to train on is mid 5 figures, 6 figures, maybe even 7 or 8 figures per drone. And what is the first thing a pilot does when they get their hands on a new drone?
Get really excited and possibly crash it
They crash
with the
it, they
excitement.
run it into a brick wall or a tree, and that is not a cheap mistake. As a result, we don't have a lot of pilots that can train on U.S. drones. And so EnCor's goal is to create that low-cost drone that's U.S. made, U.S. sourced, where these pilots can train on. But not only that, bring it to the next level, not from just training, but actual full-scale deployment, and do it at that low-cost level that China can offer today.
Well, I was going to ask you for a use case, but you summed that right up. And now, for me, someone with introductory proficiency in drone technology as well as UAS, unmanned.
Aerial systems.
Thank you. I am constantly rotating that A with aerial or aviation or automotive. So thank you so much for that. I got that. So thank you for that use case. Now, I know your future is brilliant. I need to wear shades. But tell me the future for your company and what you really see happening as autonomous systems and our tech hub grows and expands.
Yeah, I'd say the future of EnCor is the future of America. Right, right now in the drone space especially, America is far, far behind from many countries elsewhere. I mean, they have flying taxis, they have 10,000 drone light shows, they have drone logistics, they have fully automated drone fire extinguishing platforms, right? And on and on and on. But you don't see that in America. When's the last time you looked outside and saw a drone flying in the sky?
Never. I have been promised a flying vehicle since the Jetsons. I've been promised a lot of things and I'm still waiting on it.
That's right. And so America needs to catch up, and EnCor is going to facilitate America catching up. And so the future of EnCor looks like um, we're going to aggregate demand, and we're going to very capital efficiently scale our manufacturing. We already have that blueprint in place.
Outstanding.
And so as we chase that demand and scale our manufacturing, we'll eventually get to an economies at scale from which we can produce, sell, and profit from the low margin economics of drone manufacturing. But that still won't be enough because America is massive and needs a lot of drones, and there's not a lot of drone pilots out there. And no matter how fast we try to train new ones, the pace of drones are always going to exceed the number of pilots we have. And so after we make a lot of drones and get to that economy of scale, we'll be able to create this controller. I'm going to call it a mother controller, where it's not a one-to-one relationship where one pilot controls one drone. It's a one-to-many relationship
Multi.
where one controller can control a whole swarm of drones. And when we get to that point, maybe we'll even be able to offer a service model where you don't even need your pilot anymore because EnCor has your drones in its hands.
Wow, I was not expecting that, but thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, tell me why you are uniquely placed to do this work and have the future that you are forecasting specifically in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What is it about Tulsa? What is it about Oklahoma that makes not only what you're currently doing, but what you're forecasting to do, this a pivotal place for that?
Yeah, great question, Ty. And so most drone manufacturers in America are located in very expensive places. Bay Area in California, New York, um, you know, on and on and on. Name your big city, right? We're uniquely placed in Tulsa, which gives us a couple of main advantages. Number one, the cost to do business here and to manufacture things here is the lowest in the nation. And that will help our unit economics. Number two, we are sitting at a BVLOS, beyond a visual line of sight, testing facility, which will enable us to walk outside of our shop and fly a drone anywhere in a 120-mile radius to test, blow up, crash, spar, whatever we want to do with the drones, right? And so our ability to iterate and refine and test in real-world situations is almost the time between that is almost negligible. Thirdly, we are surrounded by 39 sovereign tribal nations who, to some degree or another, own their land, own their airspace, and own the rights to operate within those areas, jurisdictions. That advantage will give us an unprecedented ability to roll out advanced autonomous systems that you can't find anywhere else in the country.
Wow. Quick fun fact, Oklahoma is the only state in our nation that is majority owned by its indigenous population. So mentioning those 39 sovereign nations really broadens the picture of what your rollout can be and why it's strategically placed in the great state of Oklahoma. Thank you so much for that.
And last thing I'll add
Yeah.
is the history of Tulsa has a little bit to do with the future of America. Tulsa used to be one of the oil capitals of the world. And
The oil capital of the world, yeah.
when they were planning Route 66, how do we get from Chicago to LA, they had to figure out where do we cross the Arkansas. The only place they felt comfortable doing that was Tulsa because they had the only concrete bridge that crossed
time,
the
yeah.
Arkansas at the time.
Yeah.
As a result, a lot of the logistics have gathered here to make it very easy for us to transport things. We have an international airport, two major railroad stations, 2 or 3 major highways systems, and it's all at here, the heart of aviation.
Outstanding. To speak about the airport project, as of last year, 2025, they were expanding Tulsa's International Airport because the international part in the title was for more commercial use, and I would say commercial use like FedEx, DHL, crafts that would come here to deliver mail and such, but it wasn't open for international use for personnel. So there is a, pardon me. So now we're actually growing and evolving with Tulsa's airport, and they're building out the customs portion to take international visitors. So also talent and customers, you're well placed. Thank you so much. Before we get out of here, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about Encore, about your future, about Tulsa, about technology in Oklahoma?
I'd say the future is bright for those willing and able to go and capture it. If you are interested in how drones could benefit you, or you want to get involved in our mission in some way, please reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. So, like you said, the future is bright. And remember, you don't need permission nor approval to live your authentic life. So, just continue to build. Thank you so much for speaking with me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.